Thank you, Concordia. Thanks very much, Concordia, and I welcome this opportunity to speak here in the House tonight in relation to the budget and the measures that was passed and discussed in the House here last week. I suppose I'm going to focus on a few key areas in particular and just highlight maybe areas of opportunity that I believe has been missed, Concordia, in the different departments. In relation to infrastructure, for example, and infrastructural spend, I believe it has been disappointing because there have been missed opportunities, given at the moment capital borrowing is at such a low interest rate, nearly at the negative. I believe that we missed opportunities where we could have actually included more into the capital programme to actually improve services nationally across our country. For example, if you look at the public transport, under the NTA, there has been great work done over many years gone by. And we need to do more to improve the public transport in relation to rail and bus services. And there has been an opportunity where we should have actually invested further in this area to assist improve the public transport links from the capital out and within intercounty. So in my view, with borrowing at such a low level, we should be reflecting and considering the opportunity to invest further in serious infrastructure so that our country can develop further into the future and take advantage of that financial situation that's out there under the capital borrowing project. The roads network, for example, we need to build and do further work in this area. We have an extensive road network as we speak, motorway and dual carriageway, but there's parts of the country, if you look at the N3, N4, N5 for example, that needs to be expanded on and further developed to bring it up to a proper standard for three reasons in my view. One is we need to use that as an opportunity to attract more foreign direct investment and give them more opportunities to do that in different parts of the country. Secondly, we need to also support the industry and the businesses and the services that's there already. And thirdly, tourism. Massive industry in this country. We're well promoted. Tourism is doing exceptionally well, and in Falch Ireland and all of the different counties and local authorities are playing a positive role into that. But to do that, we need to have a way of attracting the people when they come here to actually move around with ease. So there are three reasons why we need to look at investing further. If you look at my own constituency of Kildare North, to be parochial when I have this opportunity in the House, for Selbridge, for example, one of the largest towns in Kildare North, with a population of just under 22,000, it has a deficit by needing a new infrastructural bridge, which is actually stopping the town from developing to its true potential. If you look at Clane and Maynooth, they need ring roads so that they can continue the development and for the town to progress. And then we need further park and ride facilities, again tied in with the public transport element so that those towns can develop and flourish further. And that's those services and improvements in infrastructure. So maybe there's an opportunity there to look at seeing can further investment go into that programme to help alleviate the waiting list that's there at the moment, Concordia. And then we need to look at a further investment and strategy plan so that we can put the infrastructure and the supports in place to allow the actual frontline services deal with the issues in the health service and in surgical in particular and with operations, so that those waiting lists don't build back up in the way they are at the moment. In addition to that, the medical cards for all, I think we need to look at that, and we need to, particularly with people with disabilities, there's an issue there that needs to be addressed. And the extra funding in the disability area is an improvement and is going in a positive way, but it's important that that funding is targeted in the right areas. For example, in the assessment of needs, in the follow-up programmes for following out from the assessment of need, and also then to make sure that the correct services are in place, which doesn't actually happen at the moment, and there's a deficit in that area. So funding is important, but we need to ensure that the funding goes into the right areas and people are held responsible and accountable for that funding and the delivering of the services, which is inadequate in that area at the moment. The €5 a week for the old age pension is positive and moving in the right direction, but we need to make sure that that doesn't have an impact on the means test, particularly for the medical cards. So I hope the Department and the Government will adjust the pension means test limit to take that into account, because otherwise it will have a negative effect. The child benefit, it was disappointing to see no increase in the child benefit. I raised it in the House with Minister Varadkar about extending the child benefit to all in full-time secondary education education, and that was something he gave a positive indication that he would look at, because that's the most expensive year for families in second-level education. And it was disappointing not to see that included in some measure, even if it had to be included in actually a phased way by way of means. It would have actually assisted some families right away who are struggling, but there was no increase in child benefit across any sector, so that was disappointing. Motor insurance is a huge issue at the moment, as we know, and we spoke about it at length in this House, but also the reduction at the moment in the USC. While it's positive, it's of no relevance when it's been consumed by the massive increases in motor insurance. So that is an issue. I know the Minister is bringing forward measures next month, but that is a serious issue that needs to be addressed. Also, the self-employed going in the right direction, but we need to do more to allow them to access the social welfare benefits for self-employed if they're out sick or if they're unemployed. And that's a massive issue out there at the moment for people that's self-employed, who's actually contributing and paying into the exchange. And at the moment they see that they're getting very little in return for us. Finally, Concordia, the food sector, that's a very important sector to our Irish economy, and that we hope, I would like to see the Department of Enterprise, in light of the UK vote to exit the EU, put in place a fund which will help Irish companies to grow their exports, and so they can actually promote themselves better abroad and become less reliant on the UK market. We have an excellent product, and it's hugely important that we support Irish companies promote and market that abroad. So thank you for the time. I welcome the opportunity to speak on this tonight, and I'll hand over to Jack. Thank you.